Are you an introvert in the military who feels kind of stagnant because they're not sure how to improve yet? Or maybe you're the type of person who constantly seeks that way to improve, whether personally or professionally. In this video, I'm going to give you different ways you can succeed in the military. Just to kind of give a little background on myself, I joined the Marine Corps in 2016 and I rose to the rank of Staff Sergeant in the United States Marine Corps. Now, let's get into it. That first one is observe. Introverts excel at observing. So observe whether it's your environment or others around you, and then just take action accordingly. There's an old saying that goes, you have 2 ears, 1 mouth, and 2 eyes for a reason. So use the 2 ears and 2 eyes more than use that 1 mouth, if that makes sense. That second one is have a team mindset, not an individual mindset. Adopt a team mindset in order to go faster and become more skilled. Those who focus only on themselves and not on their team, and more towards how they can lead earlier, how they can get stuff done faster for themselves only, tend to be looked at as selfish, right? It's important not to overlook this. Just be yourself at work and try your best to be as team-oriented as you can. People respect those who are professional, yet true to themselves. That third one is put your head down and work just like a silent ninja. Everyone craves that power and status. But to achieve this, most go about it loud. A secret, uncommon way to achieve this is to do so quietly, like a ninja. Do your best in every single task, the best to your ability. This prepares you for those promotions in the event that you get put in a higher or position. Understand all parts of your job. There's no need to be an expert per se. You can know a little about a lot. Think of those anchors at your job that everyone goes to for those questions. That one coworker who knows everything. Because those one who volunteer actually to get the job done. You should always strive to do more than that person. So let's say that they did maybe 10 documents today. You times 2 that. Do 20. Be better than them. Find the most highest performing person in the room and double what they do. For you to become that next best person. But do so like a ninja. That fourth one is develop intellectual capacity. Discipline helps us think and act clearly. The more we know, the better we can reason. Critical thinking kicks in, linking up separate ideas, new challenges pop up, and we need creative fixes. The more we learn, the stronger our playing skills get. These skills work together, making each other stronger. They form a more powerful mental toolkit that helps us handle tough stuff, reach our full potential. Doing this over and over and over again builds that intellectual capacity. Now, the question you might be asking yourself is, how can I apply this to the military? Think about those complex problems that you've done in the past, and they kind of stretch your comfort zone maybe. Doing those over and over and over again builds up that intellectual capacity so that future you will more better prepared to handle similar situations if they do arise. Number 5 is have emotional intelligence and emotional maturity. By definition, emotional intelligence is the ability to identify and manage one's emotions, while emotional maturity is the ability to comprehend, manage, and express emotions in a way that fosters personal growth and harmonious relationships. Now, here's an example of both in a military context. Let me set the scene for you before we get into the actual parts of it. Imagine that your unit is on a demanding and high stressful military exercise, and 2 team members, Corporal Smith and Private Jones, have a disagreement over the execution of a certain task that needs to be done. The argument escalates, causing tension within the team and impacting the whole team performance. So now, I'm going to start with emotional intelligence. Well, imagine that those two have a staff sergeant named Staff Sergeant Davis, who notices that they're arguing publicly. He pulls them aside, right, to see what's the problem. And instead of reprimanding them, he listens to what they two have to say. He acknowledges that they both have their own perspective and viewpoints of how things should be or how it should be run. He acknowledges that. And he realizes that it's not the task themselves that's the reason they're arguing. The reason that they're arguing is because the stress and fatigue of everything. It's just affecting everyone. Now, by Staff Sergeant Davis utilizing his emotional intelligence and validating their viewpoints and helping guide them to a more mutual understanding and a mutual answer, he reminds them that their teamwork and cooperation are vital to the overall mission accomplishment. Now, here's an example of emotional maturity. Now, despite feeling justified in his position, Cooper Smith sucked it up and just went to go apologize to Private Jones after the conversation with Staff Sergeant Davis because he felt and seen the impact it had on the team. And he told Private Jones that he let his emotions get the best of him and he just wanted to earnestly apologize to him. And then Private Jones, in return, shows his emotional maturity by in turn accepting the apology gracefully and acknowledging his role in a disagreement. They both agreed to focus on their own common goals and work together as a team in order to move forward more effective and harmonious way. So some of the things I want you to understand of how to apply these in your personal life in a more valid way is emotional intelligence. Essentially, learning how to identify your emotions and the emotion of others, and learning how to handle those in those interpersonal situations as a leader. And emotional maturity is taking responsibility of one's own emotions and your actions, and be willing to just apologize sometimes and suck it up, and focus on resolving conflicts constructively. Number 6 is to develop professional curiosity. That means it's the willingness and drive to explore, ask questions, and seek to understand various aspects of one's job or field that they work in. That goes way beyond the immediate task at hand. It involves a proactive approach to learning and a desire to gain deeper insights and an openness to new ideas and perspectives. Now I'm going to go over some of the key elements that goes with professional curiosity. That first one is continuous learning, which means seeking out knowledge and skills related to your profession and staying updated with the latest technologies, skills, trends, or best practices for that job. The next one is asking questions, which means inquiring about the why and how behind the processes, decisions, and outcomes. It's all about challenging assumptions that goes beyond what's already there and exploring alternative viewpoints. That next one is exploring beyond comfort zones, which is taking new challenges and being open to new responsibilities and experiences that goes beyond your comfort zone. I can give an example of this. So for me in the military, I was doing this one particular job where my domain was pretty boring. It's called packaging specialist. I pretty much make wooden crates and I preserve weapons, gear, materials, just make sure that everything's is able to be processed, shipped out correctly, and as well as firmly placed, for lack of better words. But then I got sent from the ground side, which is doing that job, to airway side, which is a higher stress as well as a lot more work. That is me pushing outside my boundary in order to become a better individual overall and to learn different aspects of my job. The next one is critical thinking, which is analyzing situations and problems from different angles. Also, it means to not accept things at face value, but to evaluate information and problems more critically. And last one, for professional curiosity, is networking and collaboration, which is simply engaging with coworkers, mentors, and experts, to gain diverse insights and to innovate and solve problems. Now, number 7 overall is developing executive communication skills, which means your ability to convey information, ideas, and directives effectively and efficiently at the highest levels of an organization. Now, we're going to get into some small details that deal with that. That first one is clarity and precision, which means to speak clearly and simply and just get right to the point with no extra details. That next one is confidence and presence. Speak with confidence and authority. Use body language that show that you're confident and also that you're engaged. That next one is strategic thinking, which means to communicate in a way that matches the organization's missions and goals. And also, it means to create those messages that help others achieve the long-term objectives of that organization and address the key interests of those people in the higher echelons. The next one is adaptability and flexibility, which means to adapt the way you speak to others based on who you're talking to. I know there's a lot of people who say that you shouldn't change who you are because they think that's fake or whatever, but it's real. You need to understand how to speak to people based on who you're talking to and to adjust accordingly. Now, also, just adapt your communication style, to fit the situation if it requires as well. Next is listening skills. Listen actively to show that you care about others' opinions and their viewpoints, and use that feedback to improve your communication and your decisions. Next up is persuasion and influence. Make strong arguments to support your ideas, but also use that emotional intelligence in order to understand others' ideas and also influence others if you need to. The next one is conflict resolution, which means to handle disagreements calmly and politely, and show solutions and compromises clearly and effectively. Number 8 is storytelling. You need to use storytelling in order to make complex things simple and explain your points in a more simple way that makes sense to others. Remember to use this to keep the audience attention with engaging narratives. And lastly, technical proficiency, which means being good at digital tools for communication like presentations and utilizing that teamwork. Create and deliver presentations if you need to effectively to share important information. These are your areas of control. Use these tips, please, to lead, mentor, and train others. Whether it could be your boss, it can be your friend, your coworker, anybody. You can lead both up and down the chain of command by guiding others indirectly towards your desired outcome. Now, share your struggles in the comments below of how the military is for you thus far as an introvert, or if you're in the military, offer tips to those who plan on joining the military, to be better. But I also create Discord for people like me and you who want to be better, who want to grow and share ideas. If you feel like that's you, just click the link in the description, and I think it will be a win-win for both of us. But thank you for listening and stay motivated.